AFC and NFC conference championship games, man. We have 4 teams left for the NFL, and four teams looking to punch their tickets into the Super Bowl. We had the AFC side with the Bengals and Chiefs, and we also had the NFC side with the West Coast battle, LA Rams versus San Francisco 49ers. So we'll just talk about the AFC first, man. We talk about what happened, man. Essentially, man, look, this was a great battle between a powerhouse and the Chiefs with Pat Mahomes, Andy Reid, and the new Joe Cool, Joe Bazooka, whatever you want to call him, Joe Burr. You know what I'm saying, coming through and, going head to head with them, man, with the Cincinnati Bengals, man. They were in Arrowhead Stadium. It was nice weather. It was loud, I can tell you that much. It was, it looked like they were going to just go ahead and just walk away with this win. And they being the Chiefs, man, they came out and just started scoring. They scored 20 straight points, 21 straight points. And no, not 21 straight points. It wasn't straight, but 7-3 at the end of the first quarter, 21 to 10 by the end of the half. And I think there was like a key chance for the Chiefs to go ahead and get 7. They made a little risky play. They were playing with the play clock, and they did not get a chance to kick a field goal going into the half. So, and then from there, man, second half, it was all Bengals, man. It was 21 straight points they put up on the board, and it came to an overtime, man. And you know what happens in overtime? Whoever gets the ball first. No, actually, in this case, it didn't. Who got the ball first? It was Pat Mahomes, man. But the defense stopped them. They had a chance to get the ball. The Cincinnati Bengals, man, and that guy, man, McPherson, who has just been lights out. For a kicker, man, he's just coming in and just solid, kicking it. It's going through down the middle. He look like Steph Curry out there. So, McPherson came and put the icing on the cake. And, Cincinnati, they're going to the Super Bowl, guys. That's all I got to say. So, feedback, man, reactions, man. How do y'all feel about this game, man? I'll start with you, good kid, Mad City. Hey, man, we should just call you just fake. But go for it.
Wow. What, dude, don't be bitter like that because your team lost, man. Just like going to a funeral, man. Like, don't do that, bro. Don't do that.
It's okay.
Don't be like that.
You don't even have a team, so it's all good.
So sad, bro. And your team sucks.
Answer the question.
It's the same boat, right? I don't have a team. You don't have a team in the big game anymore in the hunt. Same.
Wow.
So this game, man, like online, people are like bashing Pat Mahomes, right? It wasn't Pat Mahomes' best game. So I think it hit you up in halftime when the Chiefs, it was down the second half, right? They had a chance to come away with some points and to get the ball back in the third. Smart thing to do, come away with points. Whether it's 7, whether it's 3, come away with points. Mahomes did the smart thing. He didn't see a play, threw the ball at the ground, right? Cool. I think it was like 4 or 5 seconds left. He asked Reed, let me go again. He's an MVP. He's a Super Bowl winning quarterback. I can see how easy it is to forward and say, yo, Pat, you the man. Go for it. You got that magic. Bruh, come away with points, man. If there's not a chance after that, Andy should have stood up and said, let's kick the field goal. So I didn't like that. And like as you mentioned, they came back, got the ball back in the third quarter, and didn't do anything either, man. And we know that statistic about the third quarter, whoever scores first, since he came down and scored. And from that point on, man, it's like life. Somebody just shot some life into Cincy. They woke up and just started killing it. We talked about people talking about Patty, but Tyreek Hill, man, Hill dropped some catches that he's made before in his career, that he's made before this season. There was some good defense. Some, he was covered. Somebody was in the vicinity. He got both hands on the ball and just like 2 rocks, man. I don't know what was going on with Hill. I don't know if his mind was into it. I know there was a little back and forth on the sideline for a second, but the receiving core, man, I think there was some key catches they could have made for Mahomes and didn't help him out. And I think I can't remember, it was the end of the fourth in OT where Mahomes really did drop the ball. He was scrambling, like, it seemed like The O-line was magnificent. They gave him a whole half hour of time to throw. And on the replay, when they zoomed out, 3 receivers came open at different time slots, and he still couldn't find anybody. So I don't know what happened. Don't know what happened in that play, man. I don't know what he was seeing, but there were 3 people open. For whatever reason, he didn't see them. And we can't say that Cincy's defense was giving them pressure. So to me, we love to play the blame game. I would say Andy Reid for not coming away with points in the end of the second half. I say I don't know what happened with the receivers, but their hands turned to stone. And then Mahomes, when he did have a chance at the end, don't know what he saw, but he did not see those 3 open receivers.
Well, I would say, because I think you're not giving them enough credit, them being the Cincinnati defense. The Cincinnati
factual
for the front 4 was giving it to Pat Mahomes. Like the dude got sacked 4 times. You know what I'm saying? He was being hurt a lot. So maybe that actually had, and I mean even that,
and they pulled that turnover. They got an interception.
Yeah, I would say even the interception that was basically your pass rusher right there, Hendrickson.
Yeah.
So I mean,
he did do good on that. Too. Yeah, he did do that. But there were other times where Pat Mahomes had like a whole. He could have watched the Titanic back there in that bubble, man.
True, that's true too.
That's there were times.
I don't know. I'll say what I saw from the game. I was surprised that you said about the defense, at least in the second half, especially the late third and fourth quarter. Is that defense had a lot of pressure on him. They may not have always put the pressure on the quarterback. They did get the sacks, but he seemed like he had plenty of time. I didn't see every play if they were showing what was going with the receivers, but what it looked like is that the secondary had everybody covered, and that the D-line that was coming for him, he had time, but they were making sure that he didn't have any pockets to go and get those yards. So he would scramble, look, and eventually it would get to him. And it just seemed like that just kept happening.
Yeah.
Bad job.
No, you good.
Bad. So I'll say that's what I noticed from the game. So if you could say the defense wasn't really the one putting pressure on them, that's what I saw. All I saw was the defense keeping that same, okay, we may not get the sack, but we're not gonna let him get a big run, and we're gonna make sure there's nothing up the field. And that's what he does.
Yeah.
He runs around until he can find somebody. He either runs against a lane, or finally, somebody makes a play to get loose, and he finds a receiver, and they just couldn't get that formula going tonight.
Yeah.
And at least in the second half.
Yeah. I believe that at least one of the 2 times, they only rushed 3. And I think that was the time he fumbled the ball, but they got it back. They only rushed 3 times. So that means that there's 10 people back. I'm sorry, or like 7 people back.
And that was a coverage sack. That was a coverage sack. Like there was nowhere to go. Yeah.
So I mean, at the end of the day, man, if you can't prevent the people from getting to your quarterback, you got a whole 5 people. It's almost a 2-to-1 ratio, and you still can't hold those 3 people.
You can't even say it's the O-line, because after that amount of time, what can you do outside of hold and get a penalty? After that amount of time, you gotta let a guy you can't hold. You can't do holding. After these were very long scrambles.
Yeah.
I feel like 7 to 10 seconds he's running around.
Yeah. No, you're right.
Maybe even longer. So I can't even put that on the O-line. They gave him the time, but if your guys ain't getting open downfield, they're making sure there's no path for you to run. It's just like that. That's the inevitability.
Yeah.
They doubled Hill, and they took. I wasn't able to see what they did to Kelsey, but they took him out. So maybe they doubled him too. They can't double, but they did something, right? They doubled Hill for sure, and I know they were playing 2 safeties high, so they took away all the big plays, and somehow they took Kelsey out, because he at key moments where this is gonna be a Kelsey play. Like I know it. This is Kelsey play. Oh, he didn't throw it to Kelsey. What was going on? So that was pretty interesting.
Yeah. So, Kev, you have anything you want to add?
Was that coverage in the second half as well with the 2 safeties high? Because I know that was killing him in the first half, where he just keep making those short passes, and they were making some success. Did they continue doing that, Cincinnati, in the second half, or did they start bringing things a little lower down?
That I don't know, because I know when they did zoom out and the announcers talked about it, in the first half, they're talking about the 2 safeties high. I don't know if they switched it up, and I imagine they did in the second half, because the Chiefs couldn't move the ball in the second half.
That's what I was seeing. Both of y'all. I saw what both of y'all was seeing. I saw what Red was saying. Where the defense had them, even though he had time, he had nowhere to go. But there's other. I think I feel what you're saying from the perspective that even though he was shut down on a few plays, there were other plays where something could have happened, and we just didn't really see it cook.
Yeah,
I was shocked. Let me put it that way. I was shocked. It was like two different games that I saw. First half and the second half was two different games. I'm not sure where the adjustments were made on the Cincinnati side and what couldn't be made on the Chiefs side, but it was definitely two different games. That third quarter stat hold true. I'm with you on that half. That closing of the half, I felt that they were relying too much on Pat to say, hey, look at this, he can do it.
There's other ways to get points on the board.
Yeah. It's good faith. I appreciate the faith, but man, we gotta strategize, and let's put the strategy on the field that will get us the W. And I look at the fact that we went into overtime, and I'm like, man, if we had that field goal, will we still be there? Maybe not, because things change, but
it also changes the nature of the game. They would have had to play different.
Yeah, the play different. So you can't really tell, but at the same time, you can't help but wonder sometimes, man, that free throw that you miss or that field goal that you miss. No matter what sport it is, when you miss something early, it's like, man, is that the thing that bite me coming on to the end?
Yeah. Especially when there's just that gap, because no, you're right. And then on the defensive side, man, they were doubling Chase, and then inexplicably, and he got the touchdown. I'm like,
immediately.
Come on, bro.
Hey.
Instant regret.
Yeah.
But I now that you brought that vantage point up, I didn't see that. I don't know if I wasn't paying attention at the time. I want to see zoomed out footage, because even if they say, oh yeah, at these points these receivers were open, what I was seeing from the defenses, he had to keep maneuvering, turn, spin, like they could have been open, and he's just trying to stay afloat.
Yeah.
It may not be a lack of vision. It's just been that pressure.
Because you had to realize he was turning his shoulders a lot, which meaning anytime you do that, you have to reset and like you don't have time to. You can't be out here like turning shoulders, taking your eye off the field, and then just throw it, because the last thing you got was a snapshot of someone going across the middle. Because that's how you throw picks. That's how you end up looking like Jimmy G. But
oh man, he's throwing under the bus.
I mean, he did what he did. I'm not gonna.
Exactly.
He
threw himself under the bus.
He threw the ball under the bus.
I mean, it was tough to watch. So, but yeah, I mean, that was pretty much all I had. Like I said, I think to me the big takeaway with this was two things. One, Joe Burrow did not. First of all, the O-line held up. He only got sacked one time, so that was pretty good. I guess like a really good defensive line, because they still got Chris Jones. Like he still is an All-Pro, like I believe. So I mean, they still had a decent defense, but I think what controlled the pace a lot was Bengals, man. Defense was killing. Also, they did learn to start using a lot of motion to get people open. If you notice in the second half,
I saw that too in the second half.
They started doing motions. That I think that's kind of how it freed up Jamar Chase in some quick slants or it's just some interesting thing to where like it just kind of loosens up the zone a little bit, and now you can just find those soft spots better, because now they have to pass off assignments and stuff like that. So I think there was the two brightest spots about Bengals. That's how they pulled it out, was their defense, and then just kind of changing their play calls, man. Doing a lot of motion and getting people open, essentially. He had to get T. Higgins open. T. Higgins was feasting, and then Jamar Chase finally got broke away for some too, man, for some key plays. So
I'm looking at the game stats, seeing how Kansas City, we could say, is kind of an established team at this point for sure. Are we surprised at how even the game was? Like time of possession, first downs, total yards, passing, rushing, like everything seems almost like 50-50 split down the middle.
No. Oh, not for me.
Again, those two games, right, man? It was like the first half, those 50-50 party came from one half stats and the other half stats. It was like, man, it's surprising. It was surprising because
That's
the
surprising.
second half could have easily been like the first half.
Yeah.
I don't see why it couldn't have been. I don't see why I don't see what they went away from that didn't allow them to continue the success. I wasn't keen to the details on what caused the change. I couldn't see it. I just know, man, Bengals were just doing their thing. I didn't like the defense of Kansas City Chiefs. I was gonna ask y'all your takes on the defense. Like, was it the defense or was it all Bengals offense?
I never trust. I feel like they were putting let me not put it that way. I feel like they were putting too much pressure. Kansas City was putting too much pressure on their own defense, with the offense not, especially in the second half, not keeping the ball longer. I think Mahomes is a dangerous quarterback. Burrow's a dangerous quarterback. Like, you don't want the ball in either's hands. So I think Kansas City, I wish they would have done a better job somehow of holding the ball for longer, man. That's, that was killing. I was upset at their run game for a minute, but I mean, they ran the ball 24 times. You know,
they just don't have a run game though. That's it.
They don't have a run game. That's not
well, McKinnon was he averaged 5.4, right? He got 65 yards. I feel like it was inconsistent, but we know Mahomes has a great arm, great vision, and we know Andy Reid. He run what? What is that? Even in his ego days, run, get out of here. What are you talking about? He doesn't do that.
Yeah. You know, he likes the high octane offense, but I don't know, man. I feel that, you know, when you think about it, man, Kansas City doesn't really have any breakout stars. Tyreek Hill, Kelsey. I mean, everyone else is marginal, man. You may, you know, McCall Hardeman or Pringle, like, they may get open just because, you know, the focus is not on them and they ran their routes, or, you know, even their run game, like, Clyde Edwards is just not. He's not a Kareem Hunt. I mean, when Kareem Hunt, you couldn't stop him, and it just seemed like they've taken a step back, and they've relied more on Pat Mahomes' throwing ability versus they just need to find a running game that is going to help complement their passing game.
Which is funny because they fallen in the running aspect a long way from what was it, Priest Holmes, and I forgot who came after him. It was like two running backs back to back powerhouses, and then they had Jamal Charles. So it's like they knew how back in the day how to get running back, so they got to do that again to help Mahomes out.
Yeah.
Do we think that was like a calculation on their part when they looked at the personnel and they're like, hey, our quarterback is rushing for 100 plus yards. Do we invest elsewhere? Do you think that was kind of the mindset there?
I think if you're the GM and you know Andy Reid is your coach, you can have, who's the best running back now? Who would you say is the best running back right
Derrick
now?
Henry.
Yeah.
So if you had Derrick Henry, and you know Andy Reid's not going to feed him the ball because that's not his style of play. It's kind of tough to put that much money into a running game unless you have some type of handshake deal with the head coach.
Yeah. But I think it's not necessarily about being the best running back. I think it's just one that fits the scheme the best. So if you had like an Alvin Kamara who is able to catch out the backfield, is able to run the ball, he's able to, you know,
that would be a good
be great in open spaces. Then he would fit the mold pretty well. Because this is what Kareem Hunt was. Kareem Hunt was a pass catcher out the back. You can put him in the slot. You can run with him. He was pretty much a Swiss Army knife. So it just allowed a lot of flexibility, so people can't just easily play the pass and and then rush the quarterback. Like, you know, that's the point of the run game. It's just to kind of help balance that out. And if you don't have that balance, it's easy. As you can see on the other side a little bit with the 49ers, you can see like how easy it is to just kind of like, you know, play two of those three pretty well if you know the third aspect is just not going to be consistent. So I think that's just kind of what they're missing now. I think they need to go ahead and retool to find a good running back that can be kind of an all-purpose catch and run.
And I'm looking at NFL salary cap tracker right now as we're talking about this, and oddly enough, KC is second to last as far as having salary cap space, man. So they're kind of cash struck right now.
Yeah, so they gave $1 billion to Pat Mahomes. Like, well.
This dude said they gave $250 of Elon to Pat Mahomes.
So, anything else I want to add to this, man? Outside the fact that I was right on this one.
I don't know how right you were, but what about their defense, though? I heard a lot of talk about their offense and what they need to do. Are their defense good, solid, square? We don't need any changes on that side?
They definitely get better on the defense. Their secondary is trash.
All right.
Yeah.
Secondary. Right. I wasn't liking what I was seeing, man.
Yeah. Outside Tyrann Mathieu, and the front four, it's a little suspect, you know. So
it was.
They have tendency to lose the more often than not. Like, they're not gonna win you the game. They won't necessarily, like, they're not that really like that bad, but they are below average. Like, they're better than there's room for improvement to make the team better as a whole. And I think they need to probably strengthen the secondary, if anything.
Yeah, I'm with you. If they're going to spend money on anything, it should be the secondary. I think Mahomes, Kelsey, Hill, I think they can carry the offense still.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Strengthen up that defense.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. So, but I was right, by the way.
I don't know if you were right, man.
I mean, it was a prediction.
Right. What was your prediction?
My prediction was
exactly
that Bengals was going to beat the Chiefs. We did predictions last time.
I want to hear Bengals by 10, Bengals by, because that gives the idea on that you understand what the dynamics of the game will be. So when you just throw another win, I don't call that an official guess.
You said why do you think the Bengals are going to win? And I said because they're the hot team right now. And I said
this wasn't a hot team result, though. This
was just a hot team result. You don't have to win by 45 points to be a hot team. It's not about being hot in the sense of I'm going to score a lot of points. I'm going to score that many more points than you. What I mean by hot is at a certain point in time, you start to click or things just start to fall in your favor. And sometimes it's really good for teams to play well into the playoffs versus teams to start off really good, like the Cardinals, and then kind of get lukewarm towards the back end.
Because, I feel you. Yep.
So what I meant was, what I meant by that when I said that they were hot, it was that, and I said the same thing for the 49ers. They got really good at the back end, so like they had a really good rhythm going, and
they were struggling until about mid-season, and we kind of had them counted out. I wasn't even checking for them in the playoffs early season.
Exactly, right. I wasn't checking for them either. And like I said, Cincinnati just started. They just started knocking off teams. They beat the Chiefs already. I think they beat the Chiefs in the same way too. They were down by like 10 or 13 and a half. They came back, and Kansas City was like, "Yo, we just didn't expect for them to come back like that." Like, not that they just stopped playing. It's just they went in there, they drank some of that secret stuff, and they came back out.
I like the Bugs Bunny secret juice.
That's the same picture I got in my head.
Yeah, I mean, but I give you that. It makes sense because Burrow was injured all last season, so it give him some time to get adjusted. Started clicking.
And Jamar Chase was a breakout player too. Like, no one saw him coming. And then once he became unlocked, oh my gosh, the rest of the offense just blew up. Joe Mixon was killing.
Mm-hmm.
Only I know Joe Mixon was killing because every time I see him on fantasy, the dude got a lot of points. I'm like, yo, is Joe Mixon just really killing people like that? But the offense was just really good. And Jamar Chase was really that good. And T. Higgins is a second-year player. He's still pretty good. And they still got Tyler Boyd.
I mean, that's the benefit of having – they got to capitalize now. It's the benefit of having a quarterback on a rookie contract. Like, I think I saw a stat, like, Burrow's, like, X amount of quarterback to go to the Super Bowl in their second year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because the teams could pay these other players.
Yeah.
Then he's going to come with I want that Russell Wilson. I want that Pat Mahomes. I want that, Aaron Rodgers paycheck. And it seems like,
can you?
Exactly. You can stay for a little bit.
But that's true. I mean, like I said, they got two definite Pro Bowl caliber players on rookie contracts, and they got T. Higgins, who was a breakout last year. he's also on a rookie contract. So like you have basically your core minus Joe Mixon on rookie contract. And I mean, I don't know if you want to throw in Tyler Boyd because he's not. I don't know if he's number one receiver. I think if you lose Tyler Boyd, you'd be okay now. But like their offense is predicated around people on rookie contracts. So yeah, you can build
now
pretty well. Yeah. So you better do it within 4 years because otherwise.
Shoot, when's Burrow? Gotta see when he's up for his contract. But yeah, you're right. The time's short.
I think it's 4 years and the team option or something like that for.
Then this is Burrow's second year.
This is only his second year.
Yeah, so 2 more years.
So exactly. So. But,
hope you stay healthy and so many other factors. But yeah.
Yeah. So. Anything else, man? Before we move on to the NFC, man, get that NFC over with.
I'm still not a fan of this overtime, man. I'm still not a fan. Let's keep it moving, though. I'm still not a fan.
Wait. Hold on. What we got wrong with the overtime?
Yeah, what was wrong with this time?
I don't like the rules. I just don't like the rules. It is what it is, but I'm just not a fan of the rules, man.
But this time, Patty got it first.
Both teams had a chance. Yeah.
Nah, but
I just don't like the rules. I just don't like the rules.
Like, so you would rather them just play out the time?
I'd rather play out the time, like football.
Gotcha.
Football with the foot, with the feet.
Because even in college, if the team scores, the other team still gets a chance after the score
on a touchdown,
on whatever.
Anything.
Yeah,
anything.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
and this time they gotta
whatever the results are, the other team has a chance to match it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're not even saying that at this point because that happened this game. I think we're more
that didn't happen this game.
Yeah, it is.
No. What he's saying is in college, whoever scores first. So what you're saying, Reg, is whoever, like both teams had a chance to score.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. So once a score, then they go into sudden death, I guess.
The other team has a chance to match it, or
yeah.
That's
okay.
Look
on the next drive. Because I feel like at that point you wouldn't answer to Kev's kind of discernment where it's just like he would just rather you just play out the time. Because just one more drive, anything can happen on just one more drive. But if you let the whole time play out, you can have this whole thing where maybe not on that next drive, but the drive after that might be the one. So I think Kev's just saying let's just let the boys play.
Yeah,
I like that, but I'll be cool with since he scored, just let Kansas City get opportunity. If that's the settlement, I'm fine. But the way it is now, they got to change it.
They had the opportunity.
They had the opportunity. They missed.
Not after Kansas City scored.
They're saying in college, once somebody scores, then the other person has that one more opportunity, which I don't think is much different. But I hear.
It changes the scope of the game.
Yeah,
I see what Red's saying with this one. I mean, this one is all fair game, right? Kansas City got a chance. Yeah, you took your shot, you missed. I took my shot, I made it. So like in that context, I see the do or die fairness in this one for sure.
Yeah,
I wouldn't mind what Kev's saying too. I'm open to it. I think I just maybe I'm a little bit later to the game with the football, so they already started the world change, so I watch it, so I'm used to it. But I wouldn't mind if it would just play overtime. Whatever happens, happens.
I mean, I'm okay with all of it. I mean,
maybe they just shorten the quarters. That way, if they have to do a double or triple or something like that, then it is what it is. You just keep going. But I'm open to change it.
Yeah, the only reason I think people kind of hesitate to change is because of again player health, just the amount of toll it takes on your body. You know, that's the only thing. So
I will say,
Josh?
I'm looking forward to this rivalry between Burrow and Mahomes, and Chiefs and the Bengals. The rivalries are good, man. I love it. It's good for the sport.
When's the last time there was like an active contender in that conference? Because a lot of these guys, Brady when he was with the Patriots, we would kind of just look at it and say, "Hey, but look at the conference, look at their division." Like, of course. Mm-hmm. So now there's really gonna be a rivalry there. Who's gonna be the division leader?
They're not in the same division though,
or at least in the same conference.
They're in the same conference.
Even then,
So I like that, and if Rodgers moves teams, man, I think his best bet. I know we're not talking about that. I don't think he want to come to the AFC, bro. I don't think he want to see the AFC.
NFC West is open, man. We have some money in the 49ers. It's his hometown and all that stuff. Whatever though. Just
bring him back, yeah.
We could use an upgrade. So
Speaking of
y'all
that.
think Joe Burrow a top 5 quarterback?
Not yet.
Come on, man.
Not enough time yet. Yeah,
I don't know.
He had a good season.
I don't know,
Trying
man.
to make, trying to make a
I mean,
point.
okay. Let's play this out. Name this season. Let's do this season. We're not talking about career because he's young. Name 4 quarterbacks better than him.
He got you. He got you.
Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Keep going.
This year.
This season,
Man,
because he wasn't playing last season.
I would say Josh Allen, but Josh Allen had some up and downs this season.
He did. He had a strong playoffs, but
Yeah, he was up.
would you say?
But
would you
Kyler
say
Murray,
Mahomes?
Mahomes. But Mahomes started off
Well,
slow this season too.
We not throwing out Tom Brady.
Oh yeah, I forgot he played. Oh, I thought he retired.
Yeah, bro.
Jeez, man.
Russell Wilson
He
got
said this
injured.
season.
This season.
I think
Tom
this
Brady.
comparison. I think we just move on. This comparison don't really
That's
make
good.
sense. It's a rookie. They don't got the full scouting report, or this is year 2. Sorry,
He's year 2.
it's still early. Like
It is.
So
I think Chris trying to make a point, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like he's trying to make a point.
Oh, he's trying to make a point. He's trying to make a point in the Stafford thing.
better than Jimmy G.
Whoa!
That's all.
I was not trying to say that, and true,
Better
it is
than
very
Jimmy
true.
G.
I mean, look, we know Jimmy G is a game manager. Like, come on, guys, stop
I
poking.
don't know if he
stop-
knows his role as game manager. I don't think nobody gave him that speech yet, that talk.
Hey man, someone said Debo said he backs his quarterback to the 100%. So
That's
Oh,
what I
no
heard.
doubt.
I heard
Yeah,
the
you
same thing.
can't. Yeah, you got to.
so I mean, maybe he's a likable guy, man. He's very friendly.
Could be. I have a beer with him. Seems cool.
Okay, all right, man. Well, let's move on, man. Look, good luck to the Bengals, man. I'm happy I got that one right, man. The second one though, man, I wish I would have had right as well, but it happens, man. To the best of us, man.